All right, next up, I do want to talk about and mention some quotes from Jared Leto promoting Marvel Sony film Morbius that's going to come out soon, early April, actually. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it. Trailers are okay. I'm not sure why I'm not feeling the excitement yet. Maybe if I'm really bored, I guess I could check it out in cinemas. But I mean, speaking in an exclusive interview with Screen Rant, I do have some quotes. Um, you know, his thoughts on the whole Marvel movie mania, on its impact on cinema. He actually believes for Jared Leto, Marvel films are keeping cinemas alive, saying, if it wasn't for Marvel films, I don't even know if theaters if theaters would exist. I also have gratitude for these movies because they're keeping cinema alive. I know how important that was for me as a kid, escaping to the movies. That cultural experience was quite informative and impactful. I saw movies in theaters that changed my life. I like this quote. I kind of agree. I mean, those kinds of films for me were like really a life changing, like kind of made me more interested in, I mean, kind of was like interested, more excited about these kinds of films. For me, it was like a reality going away from my own crappy, shitty reality. And like the kind of escapism that I need. But at the same time, it is quality cinema, which I know some people disagree. I'll get into it, but I mean, I still think like even to this day, those kinds of comic book films, when done right, they are impactful for my life, especially today. So I mean, it's a big part of me growing up. So it's I still have a certain appreciation for it when they're done right. So one of the on why it was impossible for him to say not to say no to Morbius. I love that it was the very first time this character was going to be on screen. I've always been interested in transformation, and this was a way to explore that territory in a big Marvel film. It was impossible to say no. And yeah, I get it. I mean, obviously, the first time this Morbius character is in screen. I've never heard of Morbius. I have no idea other than like some vampire or whatever. So, you know, remains to be seen. But this is Sony trying to make the most of whatever Marvel related IP they have and try to make money off of it so that they don't have to give it away to Disney and whomever. Obviously Disney, but I mean, this is just, it's the only sort of movie studio that at least has other Marvel IPs, while because Disney bought Fox, giving them the Deadpool, X-Men, Fantastic Four, right? So I think this is just a way to stave off without selling it. Now, an interesting fact, he did mention on the other side of the universe, DC Extended Universe. Now, for those that obviously, yeah, some time ago he did play the Joker. Whether you liked him as a Joker or not, I guess that's always subjective. His role as the Joker, not the most popular take. I know he was asked if he'll play as the Joker again. Never say never. For me, they're like living, breathing people. I know they're not, of course, but I get attached. It's a shame to never do it again. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's the Joker. I mean, come on, it's the Joker. I mean, one of the most popular supervillains of all time. And I get it. But it's okay, like we've seen recently other not so popular but well-known villains, getting some time to shine or getting more recognition or maybe being somewhat relatable, like we just saw with the Penguin and the Riddler in the Batman film. I mean, throughout history, there's been Caesar Milan in the 1960s, starring opposite to Adam West in that Batman TV series. Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, and even in terms of the cartoon voice acting role, Mark Hamill has always been great as the Joker. So there have been many interpretations as the Joker, and I get why like some people may want a change. I mean, it's not like the Joker is tiring, but it's just good to just get away from what's familiar for a bit. Now, speaking of which, as a Spider-Man villain, he did say on if he's confident on meeting up with Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man. Well, I think Tom Holland and I have a date with destiny, by the way. Just a phenomenal actor, and what a great Spider-Man. I really think he's just a terrific talent, but it would be great to get in the ring with him and go head to head. So clearly, Jared Leto is ready to go fight Tom Holland Spider Man, and I can see that happening. And hopefully, with a team up with another familiar Sony Marvel character. This is what he had to say on joining other familiar characters in the Marvel Universe. Besides Robert Downey, Iron Man, there are so many people that would be fantastic. But of course, Venom would be make a lot of sense. That would be fun. Yeah, I can see that happening. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I really do hope that somehow like a Morbius Venom collaboration against Tom Holland Spider Man that could work really. How they could physically and mentally give him some sort of psychological torture as well. So that'll be an interesting take on the whole comic book mythos of both characters. I mean, it could work. I'd say why not? I mean, plus, like, if there's going to be much more financial incentive, I mean, hopefully, since Sony and Marvel are sharing the Spider Man character, it could work, right? Wouldn't be a terrible idea going forward.